Storytelling, chapter 3. And in the end they die. The white death. It's not quick death, and it's not an easy death. Yes, and men and women of the jury, many young people and children's, your children's and my children's, remember, die because of this drug. The lawyer stopped again. The jury watched him and waited. He is very good, Anna thought. Very, very good. He is telling the jury an exciting story, and they like him. But it isn't good for Sarah. The lawyer walked across the courtroom and stood in front of the jury. But, my friend, he said to the jury, we have a law in this country, and the law is not difficult to understand. When people bring heroin into this country, they bring death too. We need to stop these people. And how can we do that? The answer is easy. The law for these people is death. The lawyer walked back to his table. Now please look at these two young people here in this court, he said to the jury. They brought heroin into this country. The airport police are going to tell you about it. Please listen carefully. It's not long story, and remember, the law is death. The police lawyer sat down, and an airport policeman went to the front of the courtroom. Anna felt ill. She looked at Sarah. Sarah was white-faced and very afraid. Anna closed her eyes. Sarah, she thought. Oh, Sarah. The police lawyer stood up again. Please tell the court about Sarah, Haaland, and Hassan, he said to the airport policeman. Yes, sir, said the policeman. I found 2 tubes of toothpaste in the girl's bag and 1 tube in the young man's bag. All 3 tubes had heroin in them. Thank you. The police lawyer sat down. Mr. Change, Sarah and Hassan lawyer stood up. What did Sarah Haaland say when you found the heroin? He asked. Nothing, sir. She began to cry. I see. Was she afraid? The policeman thought for a minute. I don't know, sir. Perhaps she was. Yes. And she said nothing. Are you sure? The policeman thought again. Well, yes, sir. I think perhaps she said, this isn't my toothpaste. This is all wrong. Oh, I see. And what about the young man, Hassan? What did he say? Well, sir, he was very angry. He said, it's not showing. That's not true. You put it there. I see. Thank you. Now tell me, why did you look in these 2 young people's bags? You don't usually look in everyone's bags. There isn't time. The policeman thought again. Well, no, sir. We don't. I'm afraid I can't tell you. Sir, what did you say? Mr. Ching asked. very angrily. Of course, you can tell me. This is a court of law. He looked at the judge. This is very important question. We need an answer. The judge looked at the airport policeman. I'm sorry, he said. Please answer the question. The court need to know the answer. Yes, sir. Well, you see, there was a telephone call. Someone telephoned me before the plane arrived. The telephone caller said, there's some heroin on the plane. A young man and young woman are carrying it. I see, Mr. Cheng said. He smiled. That's very interesting. And who made this telephone call? I don't know. The policeman said it was a man and he talked in English. I don't know his name. Suddenly Anna heard a noise. She looked behind her. At the door of the courtroom, a tall young man came into the back of the room. Anna knew him at once. It was Stephen, Sarah's old boyfriend. A policeman took him to a chair near Anna. He saw Anna and for a second he looked afraid. But then he smiled and sat down next to her. Mrs. Halland, he said quietly, it's good to see you. When did you arrive? Yesterday. She said, why are you late? I couldn't find the coat, he answered. He looked very unhappy. Tell me how to help, he said. I want to help Sarah, but what can I do? I was on the plane too, but I couldn't help her. I don't want her to die. Stay with me, young man, Anna said quietly. We can help her. I'm sure we can. Later that morning, Sarah went to the front of the courtroom. Her face was very white, and her eyes were red with crying. Her lawyer, Mr. Cheng, began to ask her question. Why did you come to this country? He asked quietly and smiled at her. Because I like going to different countries. I want to meet new people. And why were you with this young man? Because Sarah stopped and looked down at her feet. Nobody could see her face. She began again, very quietly, but nobody could hear it. I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Can you say that again, please? Sarah looked up. She looked quickly at her mother and then at Hassan. Because I love him. Anna felt old and tired. She looked at the tall young man with the beautiful dark eyes. It was his heroine, she thought. I'm sure it was. He buys and sells heroin, and he put it in my daughter's bag, and now she says she loves him. Stephen sat next to her. He did not move, and he watched Sarah all the time, but she did not look at him. Mr. Cheng waited a minute, and then he questioned Sarah again. Did you know about the heroin in those tubes of toothpaste? He asked. No, Sarah said quietly, of course I didn't. And what about Hassan? Did he know about the heroin? Please think about your answer. No, I'm sure he didn't know. It wasn't our hero. Sarah's blue eyes were angry. We didn't put the heroin in the toothpaste tube. We are innocent. Thank you, Miss Halland, Mr. Change said quietly and sat down. The police lawyer stood up. Miss Halland, how much money did you have in your bag? About 50 pounds, I think. That's not very much. This is an expensive country, you know. How much can you buy with your 50 pounds? Sarah did not have an answer. Don't know, she began amusedly. I live very cheaply. Did you need more money? The lawyer question came quickly now. Of course, you needed more money. You wanted to sell that heroin. You wanted to be rich. Is that right? No, that's not true. The lawyer said nothing for a minute. He looked at the jury and smiled. Then he said, do you think toothpaste is very expensive in this country, Miss Halland? No, I don't think. I don't know. Well, I can tell you it isn't. Toothpaste is cheap here. So why did you bring 3 tubes of toothpaste with you? How often do you clean your teeth, Miss Halland? 6 times a day or 7 or 8 times a day? Perhaps Sarah looked very unhappy. No, I don't know, Hassan. Yes, the lawyer said quickly. Hassan, are you going to say, Hassan, give it to me? You love this young man, but you don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. And now you are going to say, it was Hassan toothpaste. Is that your answer, Miss Halland? No, Sarah said angrily. Of course not. It was my toothpaste, but thank you, Miss Halland. The police lawyer sat down. I have no more question.